The MKUltra was a government program run by the Central Intelligence Agency, but originally started as Bluebird in 1948 to 1949. It then morphed into Artichoke, and then in 1952 it became MKUltra. It was a mind control program, as well as a brainwashing program. The CIA was trying to learn how to control people's behavior without them knowing or having any knowledge of it. They tried to keep it well hidden, but in the Senate and congressional hearing in the 70s it was exposed, but no one knew about it until 1974. Seymour Hersh, a New York Times reporter, reported it on the front page of the paper. Their main objective was to commit or to create a hypnoprogram assassins. These were people who kill on command, popularly known as Manchurian Candidates. After a book was written in 1962, and it later became a movie. In the movie, the people would be through drugs and hypnosis. The objective was to get people to go and commit an act of murder against their moral code and have no remembrance of it. This was often one of the main goals, but they were also trying to create couriers people, military people, because they could implant messages that send them across dangerous areas, whether or at that time the Vietnam War, and deliver messages and have them wiped from their memory just in case they were captured. They had all kinds of objectives. During the early period of the Cold War, the CIA was convinced that communists had discovered a drug or technique that would allow them to control human minds. Some of Gottlieb's experiments were covertly funded at universities and research centers, while others were conducted in American prisons and in detention centers in Japan, Germany, and the Philippines. Many of his unwitting subjects endured psychological torture, ranging from electroshock to high doses of LSD. The CIA scientists became aware of the existence of LSD, and this became an obsession for the early directors of MKUltra. The MKUltra director, Sidney Gottlieb, can now be seen as the man who brought LSD to America. In the early 1950s, he arranged for the CIA to pay $240,000 to buy the world's entire supply of LSD. These experiments rely on a range of test subjects, some who freely volunteer, some who volunteer under coercion, and some who had absolutely no idea they were involved in a sweeping defense research program. From mentally impaired boys at a state school, to American soldiers, to sexual psychopaths at a state hospital, MKUltra's programs often preyed on the most vulnerable members of society. The CIA considered prisoners especially good subjects, as they were willing to give consent in exchange for extra recreation time or commuted sentences. They were doing this for about 15 to 17 years, when it was all exposed in the 70s. In the hearings, the CIA admitted that they had done this, but no one would say exactly what they did, because all the records had been supposedly destroyed.